Hello everyone, welcome back. We have been studying JavaScript. Yesterday we have seen conditional statements like if, else. Now iterative statements. Iterative statements. JavaScript also supports iterative statements like for, while, etc. Let me consider while loop. So here you have two types of iterative statements. That is, one is while loop and the second one is for loop. These are the two types of iterative statements. And you know, whenever I say while loop, how while loop works you already know. The syntax looks something like this: condition and body of the while loop. If you don't know how many times loop should get executed, then we should go for while loop. In case of for loop, you have for with this syntax, for of, first you have initialization, put a semicolon. Then you should go for condition check. And the third parameter, the third criteria is you have to consider increment or decrement. The syntax is different as compared to for what we have in Python. So this is about while and for loop. Now let me quickly execute few of the examples. Say suppose here I just remove this body tag and inside script I say var. Let me take count value. Initially I say count equals 1. Then as long as condition I have to put count value is less than or equals 10. If count value is less than or equals 10, I say console dot log of count. Okay. Later you have to increment count value. For the first time it is 1. Print the value. Again increment the count. Second time, third time, fourth time, etc. Now if I run this code, let me check how the output looks like. Here I have Control Shift J. Look at this output now. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So this is about while loop. So we have printed the values one by one. Which value? The value of count. For the first time it is 1, 2, 3, etc. Next. This is one example. Here I copy paste. Example 1. Inside script So what I do is, let me consider a variable s equals, here I say pentagon space. This is my variable s. Now what I would like to do is, I start with while loop. So first I say variable initialization. I initialize the value to 0. I value to 0. Next, as long as while loop, look at this, I is less than s dot length. Yesterday I have told you, if I say s dot length, it will return the number of characters that a string is having. So s dot length. So what I am going to print here, index wise, s of 0, s of 1, s of 2, etc. See, here I say console dot log of s of I. For the first time, s of 0, s of 1, s of 2. But you should not forget to increment value of I. Now save this and reload. Look at the output now. What you have is pentagon space. So this is how you can print the characters on console one by one. This is my next example. Here I place this example. Next, now what I do is example 3. To print, here I say to print all numbers that are divisible by 2 and 5 between 5 to 100. All numbers that are divisible by 2 and 5. So it should be divisible by 2 as well as 5. Between which number to which number? 5 to 100. Let me consider this example here. Here I have var n equals 5. Now 5 to 100. So what is n value now? 5. Then I say as long as n is less than or equals 100. You have started with n equals 5 till 5 reaches 100. So what should I check? Whether the number is divisible by 3 and 5 together. Okay, so here I say if n mod 2 is it 0, this is not sufficient. I should say and, logical and. Also n mod 5 should be 0. If this is the case, I say console dot log of n. And n value for the first time 5. Next it should reach 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, etc. That means you have to increment n value. Now save this and reload. Yes, divisible, the numbers which are divisible by 2 as well as 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. They are divisible by 2 as well as 100. Okay. This is being the answer for this question. Next, Now look at this example, example 4. What I do is here the program is something like this. I want to read some name from the user. Until he enters the name pentagon space, okay, it should keep on asking for entering the name. Okay, very simple. So what I do is, here I read name from user. Name equals, I say prompt of enter your favorite subject, something like this, or my institute name, like this. Enter your favorite subject. Now inside name you have favorite subject. Now I put, as long as the entered name is not equals, here I say Python. If it is not Python, I display something. What is that something? Look at this. Inside while loop, I say again the same statement, name equals. One time you have declared name, that is sufficient. You need not say where name again. Name equals. Here I say prompt of enter your favorite subject. Again, if name is not equals Python, it will keep on asking favorite subject. Next, one small message I give, alert of thank you. Thank you for choosing Python as your favorite subject. Save this and now reload this. Enter your favorite subject. Now I enter Java. Okay. Again enter your favorite subject, C. Okay. Next I put C#, favorite subject. Okay. No. Now I enter Python. Okay. Thank you for choosing Python as your favorite subject. So what I am doing here is, n number of times I am repeating the loop, which while loop, until you place name as Python, you will be inside loop. Once the name becomes Python, control comes out of the while loop. If name is not equals Python, then only you have to get into while loop. Otherwise, you should come out of the while loop and you should print this message. This is my next example. Here I copy paste the example, example 4. Next. So if you don't know number of iterations in advance, and if you want to execute body as long as some condition is true, then we should go for while loop. And we don't know how many times we have to execute body of the loop. If that is the case, we should go for which loop? While loop. Otherwise, you should go for which loop? We should go for loop. Now, let me consider for loop. One small example here I consider. Look at this. For loop looks something like this. For. First declaration, I should say initialization. Declaration along with initialization. I equals 1. Or you can put I equals 0. Usually we make use of 0 for the first time. I condition check. Is it less than or equals 10? I check. Then I say I plus plus. I will tell you how exactly it works. Then I say console dot log of, here I say JavaScript. So how it works? For the first time I equals 0. What happens? I equals 0. What is I value for the first time? 0. You will check whether 0 is less than or equals 10. If it is less than or equals 10, then the control enters the for loop. What you have here? JavaScript gets printed. Again you will go back and increment I value. What is I value? Initially I value was 1. Next I value is, initially it was 0. Now the I value is 1. Again you have to check whether I is less than or equals 10. So let me consider one tracing here. So here I just copy paste this code. How for loop works we'll see. For the first time, what you have here is where I equals 0. Now you should check I 0, 0, is it less than or equals 10? Is it less than or equals 10? What is the answer? Answer is true. Answer is true. If the answer is true, you should enter the body. Enter the for loop. If you enter the for loop, what you have? JavaScript. Okay. JavaScript should get printed. So here, what is the output of this one? The output of this one is JavaScript. Next, what is my very next step? You should increment I value. What is I value for the next time? I value is 1. Now again you have to check 1, is it less than or equals 10? The answer is true. If the answer is true, you should enter the for loop, and if you enter the for loop, you will get the output. What is that output? JavaScript on your console, developer's console. Again you have to increment I equals 2. Now you should check 2, is it less than or equals 10? If this is the case, it should return true. Now again you have to enter the for loop and you have to print JavaScript. So how many times? If you ask, I when it reaches 10, tell me 10, is it less than or equals 10? Yes. 10, it is less than or equals 10? Yes. The answer is true. If that is the case, enter the for loop JavaScript. Now again increment I becomes 11. Now tell me 11, is it less than or equals 10? It returns false. Once it returns false, control comes out of the loop. So how many times you are printing JavaScript? From 0 to 11. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, then 10. Till 10 means 11 times you will print. So this is what happens in case of for loop. First one is initialization. After initialization, condition check. After that you have increment or decrement statement. Okay, next. So what we are printing here is JavaScript. How many times? 0 to 10 means 11 times, including 0 to 10, 11 times. Now let me check the output. Save this. And now reload. Console.log of JavaScript. Okay, let me check here. Where I equals 0, I is less than or equals 10, I plus plus, console.log of JavaScript. Okay, save. Next, I just press Ctrl Shift J. So what has to be printed here? JavaScript has to be printed. How many times? 11 times. Now let me check where is the error. Console.log of JavaScript. Okay. Script tag you have opened here, where I equals 0, I less than or equals 10, I plus plus, console.log of hello. Let me put semicolon and check. Even though that is optional, I am just checking here. Control Shift J. Go back. I equals 0, I is less than or equals 10, semicolon, I plus plus, console.log of JavaScript. Anyway, I will check this one. As of now, let me keep this as it is. Let me consider one more example here. I have where I equals 1, I less than or equals 100. Now what I do is I plus plus. Here I give one condition. If I mod 2 double equals 0, I am checking whether I mod 2 is it 0. If it is 0, I say console dot log of I. So even numbers I have to print. Now reload. Okay. It is showing error on this where I equals 1. Okay, let me do one thing here, where I equals 1, I less than or equals 100, I plus plus, if I mod 2 double equals 0, console.log of I. Okay, save this. Now let me run this code and check once again. Okay, so what is that error? I will check here. Just a minute. Okay, notice here I am getting the output 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 18, 20, 22, 24, 28. I have just minimized the screen here till 100. All the even numbers you are getting as the output. So this is how you have to give for loop. This is one more example. I am printing all the numbers from 1 to 100 that are divisible by 2, means all the even numbers. Okay. Next, I want to print the characters from the given string. For example, I have var s equals, what I do here is pentagon space I put pentagon space. In this pentagon space, I say from 0th index to the last index. How to get the last index? I say I is less than or equals s dot length. S dot length minus 1. S dot length minus 1 till the last index 0 to, if I say pentagon space, look at this, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 characters are there. 14 minus 1 means 13, the last index. Till there, what I have to say? Yes, here you should say console dot log of s of I index. First time it is 0. Next increment the value of I, it becomes 1. 1, is it less than this length? Yes. Again enter and print that value. So 0, 1, 2, 3, it continues like that. Now reload the page. Have you noticed? I am getting pentagon space. So this is how you can make use of while and for loops. So if you don't know how many number of times body of the loop should get executed, and if we have to execute the loop as long as some condition is true, then we should go for while loop, otherwise we should go for loop. Now open your chat box and quickly give a reply. Have you all understood while and for loop? Give a reply. Why are we using prompt? Yesterday I have explained. Prompt is used to collect the input from user, and whatever the input it reads, that input is in the form of string. By using prompt function, we will read the data from keyboard, means from the user. Okay. As you know the complete picture about for and while loop in case of Python or Java, the same way with different syntax it works in JavaScript. Now let me put one problem statement. Okay, the problem statement is something like this: write a program that satisfies the following conditions. So what are these conditions? Let's see. First one, the first character of name should be yes. It should start with what? Yes. Next, second one, the last character of favorite favorite bike should be E. Third one, the lucky number should be 7. Next, fourth one, the length of dish should be greater than or equals 7. So this is an application called secret agent application. So if all the criteria satisfied, then he is considered to be our secret agent. Okay, now let me consider this example here. What and all we need? First we need name. So here I say script where name equals prompt of enter your name. Okay, name is ready. What else we require? Favorite bike, where bike equals prompt of, again this is also string, so enter your favorite bike. Next, bike is also ready. Next, lucky number, where number. So here I should say number of. Why I am converting this into number? Prompt will return the data in the form of string, so you have to convert that string into number. So here I say prompt of enter your lucky number. Next, number is also ready. Dish, where dish. Here I say prompt of enter a dish. Okay, now you have collected all the inputs. Now what I do is I make use of some variables. Where name flag, I say name flag, where name flag. So I assume that the name flag is false. Next, where bike flag, because I have to cross check now everything. So initially I assign them to false. Bike flag, where num flag equals again false. Next, where dish flag equals again false. So now we have assumed that everything is false. What is my first condition? Okay, look at this one. The first character of name should be what? Yes. Okay. If name of 0, double equals yes. If the first character of the name is yes, name of 0 is yes, then I say name flag name flag is true. So you have satisfied the first condition. Then what happens is name flag becomes true. Name flag becomes true. What is my second condition? Let me check. The last character of favorite bike should be E. Okay, last character means if of. What you have here? Bike of. I want last character from bike. From bike, I need last character. So I say bike of. Bike of. First I get bike dot length. Bike dot length. How many characters are there? That you will get -1. The last index. So bike of last index. What it should be? Yes, it should end with E. If this is the case, I say bike flag. Bike flag equals true. Bike flag equals true. Okay, now look at this one. Name of 0. First character if it is S. What is bike dot length? It will return total number of characters -1. That means it specifies the last index. So bike of last index, if it is E, I say bike flag equals true. Next, I need lucky number. If lucky number means if, here I say number value double equals 7. If it is 7, then I say number flag equals true. Number flag equals true. Okay. So number flag equals true. Any other conditions? Yes, length of dish. So here I say if dish dot length, if that is greater than or equals 7, then what I do is dish condition, that is the flag associated with dish, I make it as true. The condition of this dish flag is true. Next, here I put one alert message. Alert. Hello. Look at this concatenation I am doing. Hello plus hello name. Name I want to print. Next, give plus one new line character I put \n. Thank you for your information. Thank you for your information. Okay. Now look at this. If you satisfy all the conditions, means if name flag, if it is true, you can just say name flag, and name flag double equals true can also you put, or you can just put name flag. If it is true, then only if block will get switched on. So name flag. Okay, after that what I have? Name flag, bike number dish, bike flag, and number flag, and dish flag. If all of these are true, look at this, even if any one of the input becomes 0, the logical AND returns 0. So if all of these conditions are true, then I say console.log. Here I just put console.log welcome to our soldier group. Welcome to our soldier group. Yes. Welcome to our soldier group. Else. Here I say console.log you are an outsider. This is what I get. So what I am doing here is, first name you have collected, bike, number, dish, then flag you have set to false everywhere. If the first character is S, last character of bike is E, then the number whichever you choose, I can call this as lucky number, that is 7, and if length of the dish is greater than or equals 7, the conditions become true. If all the conditions are true, you can put like this also, double equals true. Same thing, because here you will check what this name flag contains. It contains true or false. So if it contains false, if block won't get executed. If name flag, bike flag, number flag and dish flag, if all of them are true, then we should say welcome to soldier group, otherwise you are an outsider. Now save this and reload. Enter your name. I put Srinath. Which is the first character here? The first character here is S. So first condition is satisfied. Okay. Enter your favorite bike, Apache. Now last character must be E. Okay. Enter your lucky number, 7. Okay. Enter a dish. Here I place something like this, LADDUS, ladoos and sweets. Okay. Hello Srinath, thank you for your information. So this is what I am getting as the output. Now one more time I will show the output. Reload. Enter your name. I just put Abhi. Okay. Enter your favorite bike, Apache. Enter your lucky number, 7 only he enters. Next, enter a dish. Here I say paneer, gobi, etc. Now okay. Thank you for your information. Now look at the console. You are an outsider. Even if one of the condition goes wrong, you are getting the message saying that you are an outsider. So this is our application. Now quickly give a reply. Have you all understood this one? Have you understood this program as well? Okay, last character, very simple. How to find out the last character? Say suppose, look at this example. Here what I have is bike, Apache. This Apache I have stored in a variable bike. Okay, bike equals Apache. How many characters are there now? I have 1, I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What I have is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 characters are there in Apache. So, what is this bike dot length? Bike dot length gives you 6 as the answer. So, bike of, look at this, bike dot length minus 1, that is 6 minus 1. What is bike of 6 minus 1? Bike of 5. So, in this array bike, which is the fifth one? This is 0th character, first character, second character, third, fourth, now this is fifth one. Okay. So, last character, this is how you will get. Hope I answered your question. Okay. So, this is about the looping concepts in JavaScript. Next, let us understand something about functions in JavaScript. Here I say functions in JavaScript. Functions in JavaScript. Okay. So, you know, in function we use def to define a particular function. Here in JavaScript also we have function concept, something like this. Okay, look at this. Here you have function. Just like def in Python, you should use function. Followed by, you have to use the name of the function. So here I say function name. Name of the function that you have to mention. Then you have to mention the arguments. Arguments. Okay. Function name along with arguments. And here inside this you have body, then return value. Return value. Okay. So this is how you are dealing with functions in case of JavaScript. Okay. Now let us understand few of the examples in case of JavaScript. Now let me consider a small example. Here I have inside this script I consider a function, a small function. Let me consider. Here I have function something like this, wish, function wish. Okay. Inside this function I say console.log, better I use alert. One message I give randomly. The message is something like this, alert of hello, good night. One message I put hello, good night. Now I have to call this function. Which is the function here? The function is wish. I call this function something like this, wish. One time, wish. Two times, multiple times you can call this function. Now save this and reload. Hello, good night. Okay, hello, good night. Two times you are getting the output because you have called the function. How many times? Two times. So this is how you will write functions in case of JavaScript. So it includes function followed by name of the function. Then you have to open a flower bracket. Then the core logic, and at the end you have to call the respective function. Okay. Next, not only that, you can also pass argument to this function. Here I say wish of. What I do here is, let me collect n equals name equals prompt of enter name, enter a name. Then wish of n. One more time, if you want you can collect one more value, wish of n. Here I pass that variable name, any value you can give. So this n is argument here, name is parameter, you know that. So this n has been passed, and here I place a message. What is that message? Hello. Then put plus name, then again concatenate this with good night. Save this. Here reload. I just place my name. Okay. Hello Srinath, good night. If you want space in between, that also you can give. So here after plus include a space and again plus. Next, here after plus again one more space plus. Now reload. Srinath. Okay. Hello Srinath, good night. So this is how you can use the concept of functions, and you can make use of arguments also in JavaScript. Let me copy paste this example also. Example 2, here you have. Next, you have to use the argument while calling, and in called function it is parameter. In the form of parameter it receives. Not only that, you can also give default parameters here. Name equals, I just say friend. So if you give some input like this, wish of, notice this, wish of, first I say Srinath. The same default parameter concept is there in Python also. If you send Srinath, this friend gets overridden. These friends get overwritten by Srinath, and you will get the output, hello Srinath, good night. Otherwise, by default, what it considers is friend, name as friend. Now let me quickly check the output. For the first time, reload, hello Srinath, good night. Okay. Next what you have is hello friend, good night. So this is how you can have default arguments also. In case of JavaScript, you can have default arguments. So here I place that default arguments. Default arguments. Okay. So default arguments, that also you can include in your functions. Next, your function can have return values also. Not only the default arguments, you can have return values in your function. So one or two examples, let me quickly give here. Inside this, I have a function adding of two numbers, add of, I say x comma y. Now here I say inside this z equals x plus y, and later I say return the value of z. Next, here whatever the value it returns, I have to collect. So here I put sum equals add of 100 200, and I have to print the sum. So here I say alert of sum equals, okay, which is that variable, sum equals sum equals whatever the value you have stored inside this. Save now and reload. If you reload, sum equals 300. That is what you are getting now. So this is how you can send the values and receive it, process and return. And that returned value, whatever the value you have returned, that is collected by which variable now? The variable sum. This is how you are making use of functions in case of JavaScript. Okay. Next, so you can have return values also in functions. Now one more example let me consider. So what I do is I consider a function, maybe fun. In this function I am going to consider a string except a parameter, which is that parameter, string parameter. And here what I do is let me consider this fun of yes for string. Here I put pentagon. I collect the value given by this, okay, in this one, in answer variable, and I should print the answer. What type of answer? I will put some logic for that answer. So what type of answer do I require? Now what I do is I consider the string. Which is that string here? Here I say something like x equals s of, notice this one, what I do is s of 0. What is s of 0? As of now s of 0 means p. S of 0 dot, I say to uppercase, I am converting s of 0 to uppercase. Concatenate this with yes dot or else as of now s of 0 dot to uppercase. Now I say return x. Now save and execute. Here print of answer, sorry, here I should use alert of answer. Now reload. What you are getting here? You are getting only p. In which form? In the form uppercase. Now I just put s dot to uppercase. Now reload. What you are getting? Pentagon. If you want to perform uppercase with respect to only one character, you should put p or s of 0. If you say s dot to uppercase, just like uppercase, you have lowercase also. The uppercase to lowercase, here we have to convert lowercase to uppercase. Now what I do is, look at this, s of 0. I am converting this to what? Uppercase. Now look at this, I concatenate this with s dot slice of 1. Now let me check the output. S dot slice of 1. Okay, reload. Have you noticed? Only p you have, remaining stuff you are getting along with this. So what I have done here is, first letter 0th index, I have converted that into uppercase. Whichever the 0th index you had, that I converted into uppercase. So what is my next step? Next step is, I have to convert the remaining, just a minute, yeah, uppercase. What is remaining now? The remaining is from first index to last index. Look at this. I just copy paste this here. This is what you have, pentagon. In pentagon, which is at 0th index, P is at 0th index. P is at 0th index. E is at which index? First index. This is at 0th index. E is at first index. This is second, you know that, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. So, first what I have is convert S of 0 to uppercase. Okay, P has been converted into caps P. To uppercase is the method that converts the given character into uppercase. But I want to append the remaining cases. Plus, what are the remaining values here? S dot slice. Slice the string. You already know this slicing concept, colon colon in Python. Just like that, S dot slice. Slice the string from which character, from which index? First index. Slice from first index. If you just give 1, it considers till end automatically. So from first index, this is my first index, till the last index, whatever you have, that you have to append. That you have to append. So here you have P, here you have P, then you have pentagon. So what is the appended result now? I am getting pentagon as a result. So what is this slicing doing here? Slice of 1, slice of 1, S dot slice of 1, what it does? Extracts all characters from first index to last index. First index to last index. So that is what I have done here. So this is how I am performing capitalization. S of 0 to uppercase, remaining you have to slice from first to last, finally append and give the result. So if I run this code, as a result of that, you are getting pentagon. So I need your confirmation, whatever I have explained so far in function, especially the last example. Have you all understood? Give a quick reply. Now, next one. Okay, factorial of a number. Factorial of a number. Yes, here let me write one more function, def fact of, let it consider a number n. The logic is very simple. I should begin with answer equals 1, because even if you consider 0, fact of 0 is 1, so that answer should always be ready. Then I begin with for loop. Now I should start from I value, which is 2, because 0 factorial is also 1, the answer is already ready. 1 factorial is also 1, answer is already ready. So I have to start from 2 to I less than or equals number till the last value. 4 factorial means I have to start from 2, 3, 4, etc. So what I do? Very simple. Here I say result. Result means answer here. Answer equals answer into I. Into I. And at the end I am going to return the answer. Return the answer. Now here I put console dot log of factorial of 4 equals, I want to know the value. So which function should I call now? Fact of 4. Let me check the tracing part. So what is happening here? Look at this. Say suppose what is n value? N value is 4. Now tell me, n value is 4. What is answer value initially? Answer value is 1. I begin with I value. What is I value? I equals 2. 2, is it less than or equals n? Yes. I is less than or equals n. As I plus plus I should. 2, is it less than or equals n? Yes. Because n value is 4. So 2 is less than or equals 4 is true. If it is true, enter the for loop. What you have in for loop? New value of answer equals old value of answer. What is old value of answer? 1 into I value. What is I value for now? I value equals 2. So what is 1 into 2? 2. Next. Now you have to increment I value. What is I value? I value equals, previously it was 2, I value becomes 3. What is I value now? I equals 3. Now tell me, 3, is it less than or equals 4? The answer is true. If the answer is true, you have to calculate answer equals old answer into I. What is old answer? 2 into, what is I value? 3. 2 into 3, that is 6. Again increment I becomes 4. So 4, the value 4, is it less than or equals 4? The answer is true. If the answer is true, you have to calculate the new answer. So here you should say answer equals the old answer 6 into I value. What is I value? 24. 24. And later if you again increment I value, I becomes 5. Tell me, 5, is it less than or equals 4? The answer is false. If the answer is false, control comes out of the loop and it will return the answer. What is the recent answer? 24. So that recent answer should be returned. Now let me quickly check the output. Here I have reload. Line number 4, I will have to check. Line number 4, sorry, I have to use function. So morning I had Python class, maybe because of that effect I am using function here. Yeah, now reload. Yeah, so fact of 4 is 24 you are getting. So this is what you will get as the result, and for this I am using the logic something like this, calculating factorial, and the tracing that I am going to put here. So you can calculate factorial of a number by giving answer equals answer into I. Okay. Now, so this is about factorial program. Factorial program. Okay. So this is all about the concept of functions in a JavaScript. Now let us understand scope in JavaScript. So here I say JavaScript scopes. JavaScript scopes. So two scopes are there. One is here. So there are two scopes, that is one is global scope, and the second one is local scope. So you have two scopes, one is global scope and the second one is local scope. So what is global scope and local scope? Let us understand. So first you should understand what you mean by global variable. You already aware of this concept, the global variable. So if you define any variable outside of function, they are having global scope, and such variables are called global variables. Look at this example. Here I have a function. This is my function. Function maybe f1. Function f1. Inside this function f1, I say function f1. Here let me consider console.log of, I want to print the value of something like this x. Where is this value of x? Here I define var x equals 10. Okay. Next, let me define one more function. Here I have function 2 f2, and in this I say f1 and f2. Now let me quickly check the output. Reload. Save this first. Console.log of x. Now reload. So you are getting the answer 10 and 10, means the output whatever you have here is also 10, here is also 10, means this is called global variable, and the space wherever you have defined, this is called global space. Global space. Just I copy paste this here. Okay. So which is the first one? First one is global scope. In case of global scope, here I put the variables that are declared outside of functions are called global variables. And this space where where global variables are defined. These variables are defined called global space. Okay, so that is about global space, which is the second one. Yes, second one is local space. Here I place that local scope. Okay, look at this example. Now I have f1 and f2. Inside f1 I define this variable x equals 10. Now console.log of x, console.log of x. Now let me quickly check the output. What is happening? I am getting an error. Reference x is not defined. Why? Because this console.log of x is trying to access the value of x, but this value of x is restricted to f1. Outside f1 it has no scope. So here I am getting the error. This one will give you error. So what is the scope of this variable x equals 10? Its scope is called local scope. It is restricted to f1. So this is called local scope. So here I just put local scope, copy paste this example, and here so you have to define these variables inside the local space, the variables that are declared inside the functions. Inside the functions are called local variables, and the space where these variables are defined as local space. And remember, the local variables are not available outside of the function. Yes, so outside of the function these variables are not available. So that is about local scope. So one is global scope and the second one is local scope. Now I come back to this example. Here what I do is, say suppose I have var x equals 999, this is a global variable, and var x equals 10. So when I say here console.log of x f1 f2, what should be the output? Yes, output is, it should be 10 if there are two variables with same name, then local variables are prioritized. Now here you should get 10. Here what you should get, local variables are restricted to the function. This 10 is restricted to f1, so it is not available in f2. So 999 should be available to this. Now let me check the output once. Reload. 10 9 999. Here you are getting the answer 10. This will give you 10 as the answer, and this will give you 999 as the answer. So when there are two variables with same name, then local variables are prioritized as compared to global variables. That you should be knowing. So in this case we are getting 10 and 999 as the output. 10 and 999. Next. So this is my next example. Okay, next what I do here is variable x. What is its value? 999. Let it be there. Here, or let me consider x equals 999, variable x equals 10, console.log, let it be there. Now here I consider var x equals 20. Now tell me what should be the output? Yes, local variables should be prioritized. Now save this and reload. 10 and 20. So here you are getting the output 10, 10, and here what is the output? Output is 20. Yes. Copy paste this answer also. So this is the concept of global and local variables. Global and local variables. Now quickly give a reply. Have you all understood this global scope, local scope, global variable and local variable? And local variables. Next, here also we have the concept of higher order functions. Higher order functions. In case of JavaScript, you have higher order functions. What do you mean by higher order functions? That you already know. In Python we have covered that. In higher order functions, we can send one function as argument to another function, and a function can return another function. Such type of function is called higher order function. This is standard definition. Okay, so we can pass one function as an argument to another function, and we can return function from inside the function. Such type of functions are called, what are they? Higher order functions. Okay. Let me consider one small example. Higher order functions. Look at this example. Here I have a function. You know, this function is set interval. What is this function? Set interval. It accepts the following parameters. It accepts a function. it accepts a function. I am considering this function set interval, one function, and I give time in milliseconds, okay, time in milliseconds. Notice this one. Here I have function let me consider this set interval. This is my own function, set interval. It accepts a parameter. What is that parameter? Instead of set interval I will consider as the next one. Here I say function endless. To this function, here I say print console dot log of hi. Next, console dot log of by, hi and by. Now what I do is save this. Okay. Now I just run this code on consoller's window, on developer's console. I say set interval. Anyway, this is a built-in function that I am using, set interval. And which function I have defined now? The function whatever I have defined, that I use. What is that function? Set interval endless. That I am passing as the argument, endless. Hope the screen is visible. Endless for 3000 milliseconds means 3 seconds. 3000 milliseconds means 3 seconds. Now enter hi bye. For 3 seconds it has to display the output. 3000 milliseconds it has to display the output, like that. So what is this called? Higher order function. So here I have set interval, function, time in milliseconds. This function you have to execute in console. So here I give, copy paste this, a function is here, endless, on console I have used the function, which is this function set interval. Okay. Anyway, this set interval is available by default and given by the JavaScript. So that I am using. So I have used function as argument. So what is this called? Higher order function. Now I go back to this. Here look at this. I give one more clear interval of 1. Enter. Clear interval of 1. So one is set interval, clear interval. For clear interval I have not passed any function. So what I am getting now? Undefined I am getting. Now, so this is about higher order function. Next, just like lambda function, we have anonymous function also. So here I write the heading anonymous functions. anonymous functions. Anonymous functions. Just like lambda functions, here also we define anonymous functions. So what are these anonymous functions? Functions without names. Functions without names. Such functions are called anonymous functions. What is the purpose? Just for instant use. One small example let me consider here. Just close this window. Control Shift J. Now in this case, let me reload once. Reload. Here I place set interval. Hope this is visible. Set interval of. What I do is set interval of. Inside this, I say function. First I will execute, later one more time I write this function of, look at this one, I say console.log of. Inside this I say anonymous function. First you have to pass one function as the parameter, anonymous function. After closing the bracket, I put execute it for 3000 milliseconds. Enter. Have you noticed? Anonymous function. 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, like that it executes. Next I say clear interval. Yes, 6 times you have executed. Anonymous function. So what is that example? Can you tell me what I have done? Set interval. So in console window. So here in console, what I have done was set interval of, I have defined a function. Just you should say function. Set interval of function. In this function, I have given the body of function. This is body of the function. What is body of the function? Console.log of anonymous function. Console.log of anonymous function. Then you have to put the time interval. So what was that time interval? For every What we are doing here is execute the function repeatedly for every time in milliseconds. So here what we should say is execute the function, which is that function without body. This is an anonymous function for every 3000 milliseconds. So this is called anonymous functions, function without names. Okay. So quickly give a reply. Have you all understood this topic as well? Yes. Meanwhile, you will be getting these notes in your dashboard, and in the next class I will solve some more examples from JavaScript. Thank you everyone.